Uh, Classical liberalism is an ideology that addresses aspects and areas of social lives of individuals, economic behavior of individuals, as well as owners of capital, and a political environment in a given country. There are positive and negative aspects of classical liberalism. What I've done here is I've grouped them into social aspects, positive, negative, economic, negative and positive aspects, and political, positive and negative aspects. Positive social aspects of classical liberalism was that classical liberalism offered individual rights and freedoms, which give people freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and freedom of association. They previously did not have in most systems. They had the freedom to choose and have interclass movement and choose their way of life and determine their own future. Positive economic aspects of classical liberalism. Private ownership. Classical liberalism guaranteed private ownership and ownership of property and real estate. People had the opportunity to use their property to make money and rent it out, sell it, and trade to anyone they wanted to. People had economic freedom under classical liberalism. Production of goods and services was by choice. They could have chosen to produce whatever they wanted. Basic economic freedom to set up a business. Everyone could, sell and become a capitalist. Competition. Producers are encouraged to deliver goods and services of best quality and the lowest possible cost. Consumers had a choice to purchase from any source they chose to. So, people were encouraged to make better quality products, and because consumers would buy those better quality products over other ones. Industrialization, because there was so much competition, people would create new ways of new technologies to gain an edge over others. This provided new sources of employment in the cities, created new technologies to produce goods, and allowed goods to be mass produced, which created an abundance of goods for people to buy. Positive political aspects of classical liberalism. It had a small government, which meant there was less bureaucracy, which was faster and easier to maintain a business. Lower taxes meant more disposable income for businesses and consumers. There was less corruption, so less bribery needed to live your life. There's rule of law, which meant that no one was above the law. All people were equal under the law. There's a clear defined set of rules. No one party had all the power, so no one person was in charge. People enjoyed an environment when they were able to operate a business. Now there were some also negative aspects. Social negative aspects where there was lots of poverty. The new economic reality developed a class of working poor. Wages were very low and cost of living was very high in the cities because there were so many people moving in. There was a huge wealth gap. Owners of capital enjoyed supernatural rates of return on investments. There was also selfishness. There was a theory that people's self-interest would benefit the whole, and instead people just choose themselves over others and were a bit selfish. Negative economic aspects of classical liberalism. There was exploitation of the working class. Without government regulation, oversight of industries, businesses, owners were exploited workers. The high demand for jobs drove wages down. Employers were able to fire people without any cause and lay people off purely for monetary reasons. Children as young as 6 were working and did not attend school because families were poor and needed everyone working to provide. There's no job security, so if you got hurt or you're pregnant or anything, for any reason, you could be fired at any moment without notice. There's very poor working conditions, long hours, 6 days a week, so the average was about 10 to 12 hours for 6 days a week. Conditions in workplaces could be very safe, as it was not in the interest of employers to make their workplaces safer, as they could just fire injured people and hire new ones. No health benefits, so if you get pregnant or ill, you would not get paid while you weren't home getting better. Negative political aspects. There was no safety nets. Governments did not provide regulations and programs to help people because they didn't have the power or money to do so. And the markets were unstable. Lack of government regulation contributed to volatile economic conditions. Frequent recessions and shortages of goods. There was minimal regulation, which allowed for monopolies and exploitation of consumers via high prices, and also allowed the exploitation of workers.